Hello, welcome to Living Arts. I'm your host, Jackie Suarez. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight we're going to be speaking to Drew Bordeaux. He's a singer-songwriter from Mount Kisco, and I'm so glad that he's here tonight. Drew, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a long time that you've been on my radar, and I've been trying to figure out how to get you over here, so I'm glad we were able to connect and finally get you here.
Me as well.
Yeah, well, I know you from being over there at 12 Grapes.
Yes.
So that's one of the spots that you play.
Yeah, I've been playing there for a bunch of years. So pretty much like the year after they opened, a few of my friends who played in Pleasantville brought me out there, and they're like, "You've got to meet Rich and Jeannie," and it's been a great sort of marriage with them over the last 7 years or so.
Oh, look at that. That's been a long time.
Yeah.
That's been a long time. But first, I want to give our audience just a little background on you, and I want to, just give them some information about who you are. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your musical life? Like, I know that you play a couple of different instruments.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
So it's been sort of a weird, winding journey. I started off as a violinist, and violin is my primary instrument, despite what I will play for you. But I started that when I was 6, and I did orchestras all through elementary and middle school, and did conservatory training. And as I was playing violin, I kept picking up other instruments. I picked up saxophone, picked up drums for a little bit, picked up piano and guitar. And then guitar's the one that stuck right around when I was 13, and girls really liked Green Day. It's like, all right, this is working out better than the violin thing.
So you thought it was just a cool instrument to be playing?
It was just so cool. It was like 95, 96, and there were still guitars on the radio, and so I stuck with that. And so even though I continued my classical training, I was learning Hendrix and rock stuff on the side. And then it was really, I was college when I fused the two together and started playing electric violin, or playing violin over guitar things, or playing violin in a band and doing more of a rock show, committing to that versus just playing guitar sometimes, playing violin sometimes.
So you're from Mount Kisco, right?
Yep.
So what was the music, how was the music happening for you during high school? Because I know that you were very active with musicals and things like that. So
I did a lot of the pit orchestras at Fox Lane, and it was such a great school for being a musician, because Fox Lane's really known, I guess, for their sports program, but they had great bands and great band programs and orchestra and chorus programs, so I got a chance to dabble in all of those. We used to do exchange trips where we'd go to Florida or go to North Carolina to meet other musicians, and then they would bring in super talented violinists, and sort of the first contemporary violinists I saw were at Fox Lane when they brought them in to be like, hey, this is another way to play this instrument, not just in a classical way. So really just got super involved in the school music program.
Well, they have from my niece went to Fox Lane for a time, and she did a couple of plays there, and they had just like this cabaret thing that they had going on. So I know that they were just into the arts in general.
Yeah, the cabarets were great, the shows were great, and I loved the pit orchestras. I did a little acting. I was in Romeo and Juliet my senior year. I was Lord Montague. But other than that, I just loved being in pit orchestras, where it was sort of safe. You're below the lights and just play your instrument.
So at that time, you were just playing violin?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay, so
mostly out in public. It was more like a garage band style thing with guitar.
Oh, okay.
So that sneak out every once in a while.
It wasn't happening for you at that time with the guitar?
No, yeah, it was really college when I started street performing in Harvard Square and just put my case out. And it was trial by fire. That's when you're really finding out if people like what you're doing. If you're in school and you're playing a recital, people are going to clap even if you're terrible.
That's true.
But if you're out on the street and people don't like what you're doing, they'll just walk by.
Well, you mentioned that you went, Harvard Square, so you went to Harvard.
I did.
So were you looking to maybe be a music major or something along those lines?
So it was my senior year of high school where I'd done all of the things you're supposed to do to be a classical musician and apply to I did all state orchestras and all of that. And I got to my senior year, and I wanted a liberal arts education. I wanted to, at that time I thought I wanted to be a African American studies major. I ended up pursuing psychology because I got really into research. I took some science research courses in school, and I wanted to pursue that. And I figured that music would be there, and it would be something I could continue to study while pursuing science. And I got really into that.
Right. So did you have a band that you played with?
Yeah, I had a few bands in college. I had the Drew Bordeaux band, and we played out at Northeastern. A creative title. I'm really good at naming bands.
Hey, why not? Name it after yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, no.
You started it.
Hey, whose band is it, guys? It's my band. No, it was, yeah, so I had the Drew Bordeaux band, and then I joined a band called Tommy and the Tigers my senior year. Our lead singer was a former British boy bander. And that was very interesting. He was a celebrity out there, and every once in a while on the train, people from England would recognize him and go crazy. It was like, what is going on? But it was a fun band.
So what were you playing at that time? Now, is it still playing the violin, or are you playing the guitar?
I was all over the place by that point. I was playing bass at that time.
Okay, so when did bass come into all this?
Bass was, again, it was sort of in there. It was just one of those things that along the way I picked up. And even as I've been playing in Westchester the last few years, I played bass for the Fred Savages and Andrea and the Armenian Rug Riders for a spell, and the Reservoir Pogs. So it's just in the arsenal.
So did somebody actually teach you how to play this, or did you just pick it up and start teaching yourself?
Violin, I studied. I had tremendous teachers, like Peggy Klinger, who's at Hoff Barthelson still, I believe. But violin, guitar, bass, keyboards, all of that type of stuff, I just picked up on my own. See them laying around. Again, the music department, they'd have them laying around. You'd just pick them up on your lunch break. It's pretty cool.
And so you got a report from a reputable dealer about an impressive test drive. But I don't want to be leased. I want you to buy. So you calculate the risks before you break the oldest codes. Skip the plunge and go straight for a dive. But I don't want to be teased. Don't want to be dry. Just love me. Unravel beside me. 'Cause I get lost when I'm by myself. Lost up on yourself. Lost when I'm beside myself. I get lost when I'm by myself. Lost up on your shelf. Lost and I'm beside myself. Whoa, oh, oh. So you sit on the fence, afraid I'd only disappoint. But how else will you know that you're alive? Let your heart be released, no. Don't you want to fly high? Love me, just love me. 'Cause I get lost when I'm by myself. Lost up on your shelf. Lost and I'm beside myself. I get lost when I'm by myself. Lost up on your shelf. Lost and I'm beside myself. Just love me. Unravel beside me. What am I supposed to feel if nothing is real? I get lost when I'm by myself. Lost up on your shelf. Lost and I'm beside myself. Whoa. Get lost when I'm by myself. Lost up on your shelf. And lost, I'm beside myself. And I get lost get lost. I get lost and I'm by myself. Whoa. So love me, just love me.
So who are some of like your musical influences?
Oh, geez.
Or the musicians that influenced you the most?
So for that classical spell that went until I was about 11, 12, it was really Bach, and I wasn't aware of pop music till I discovered Green Day and Pearl Jam and those types of bands. But growing up, my dad was a big blues music fan. So when I didn't commandeer the stereo with classical music, he had B.B. King going all the time. That was just what we listened to. So I always had a blues influence, which sort of seeped in and influences a lot of how I play now. But yeah, it was classical music, then blues, and then once I hit that age where it was Green Day, I had the guitar in my hands, and then it was like, okay, well, what else can I do with this guitar? And I discovered Jimi Hendrix, and that was life-changing, and I got really into classic rock stuff, and then I just started listening more to the radio, and I wanted to play along with whatever was happening, and I'd get friends together, and we'd try to, again, garage band our way through whatever songs we could.
So now you do songwriting, and at what point in, I guess, during your time at Harvard, did that start to happen for you?
Right away. Right away. It was the first week of school where there was this talent show that they put together, and I went to the dining hall and I knew a couple kids there who played instruments, but I just started looking for other people, and we put together a band and we played that talent show, and we had the whole freshman class in the audience, and it was like, this is cool, I want to do this. And so I kept playing with musicians and kept writing with them and kept writing myself, and it was it's when I discovered John Mayer, who was a huge influence on my guitar playing, and I wanted to write songs that sounded like him or like Dave Matthews. And so I wrote all the way through college and tried to do a lot of those songs in my bands then. And one of the songs I played tonight, I'll play Heard Not a Whisper, is one of those songs that I wrote in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, so ever since then, you've continued to write. You must have a huge arsenal of songs.
I've got 60 that are done that I would sign off on and say, hey, these are done songs. There's probably 10 that I parade in public comfortably, and then there's hundreds of snippets and clips on the phone and half-finished lyrics that still need to be cobbled together.
So what are you more comfortable with, songs that you've written or songs that you've kind of doing the cover for and you're kind of making them your own?
Well, that is a great question. I think that through the nature of my playing the last 4 or 5 years around Westchester, a lot of those shows, a lot of those gigs are cover heavy, where you're playing a lot of other people's material. And so what I've tried to do is make those covers that I'm playing sound as much like myself as I can. I use a loop pedal, which is sort of one of those, I think Ed Sheeran's the person people know to use that to sort of stack what you're doing with the guitar and create layers and percussive layers and give more texture to what you're doing. So when I'm playing a cover, I try to not just sit there with the guitar and sing it as close to the record as I can, but I'll try and rearrange it, change things, add solos, add new layers, and mix in elements of me. So I think the thing I'm most comfortable, or have gotten most comfortable doing, is playing those covers my way.
And I guess with the performances you have around town, and we'll talk some more about the places you're going to be, performing, what do they want you to do? Do they want you to hear your originals, or? A lot of the places I play, I'm lucky, give me sort of carte blanche to do what I want to do. And every once in a while I will put an original song in the set, but mostly it ends up being those cover songs. I think I've resigned myself in some ways to being an entertainer when I'm playing at a restaurant or a country club or a bar, and there's a great connection that you get with people when they recognize the song that you're playing and their eyes light up. So it sort of depends on the forum. There's other times I'll put myself in a forum where, like, I played the Pleasantville Music Festival this year, and I did all originals at that, and it was a dedicated audience that wanted to see original music. So then it was like, oh, what's he about to do now? And that same intrigue was there. But I guess it really depends on
the situation I'm in.
On the crowd, because maybe they, you know, they're
Yeah.
not looking forward to hearing any of your original stuff.
Exactly.
You could be
And
hearing
that's
something,
happened.
right? You can be daring
Yeah.
and try and hear
Yeah.
something new, or you know,
Yeah.
hear some older stuff.
Yeah, it's also nice to be in the room that doesn't want to hear "Hit Me with Your Best Shot." So, and I like that one too. But
That's true. That's very true. That's very true.
it's a great song.
You know, just going over some of the stuff that's on your website, I noticed that you know, collaborated and played with so many different artists. Why don't we talk a little bit about that? Because I mean, you've got
geez.
quite the list.
Yeah. Well, there's just so many great. My favorite people on that list are the ones around here, like Steve Chismadia, who's a brilliant songwriter based here in Peekskill, and I played on his album, and Mark Von M, who I believe was based out here. He might be in Pennsylvania now, but just great songwriters who called me up and said, "Hey, come play violin on these records," and I went in and did that. But there was, you know, there's just so many great musicians around here, so many talented people, like the
That's
old,
true.
the old lead singer of
that's very true.
Survivor, Dave Bickler's like right in Chappaqua, and he's teaching, and got to play with him a couple of times.
I'm
And
not familiar with Survivor.
Eye of the Tiger.
Oh,
Yeah, you are. But he's brilliant and just one of the sweetest people. And so it's Bernie Williams is out here, and you know, I've gotten to play with him a couple of times at the jams, and he's a sweetheart. There's just so many great, talented musicians and people who are caring musicians. It's not a scene where it's, you know, icy or people sort of staying away. It's like, no, I want to show you this. Oh, well, how are you playing that?
No, I can't find a way to say these things I know I shouldn't say. And it's better off if they stay down, down. Try as I may to find a girl who shakes the way you sway. Just can't make silver from gray. So I better stay down. Better stay down. 'Cause I'm not gonna take this. I'm not gonna take you down with me. 'Cause I heard not a whisper, just the sound of my own breathing and the rhythm of a love that wasn't mine. The words, they'll do us nothing. They'll twist us, baby, twist us. Records that were played for passerby. Why can't you see this fire that you lit inside of me? But I'd better leave things be. Stay down. Stay. Try as I may to find a girl who shakes the way you sway. Just can't make silver from gray, and so I better stay down. Stay. 'Cause I'm not gonna take this. I'm not gonna take you down with me. 'Cause I heard not a whisper, just the sound of my own breathing in the rhythm of a love that wasn't mine. The words will do us nothing. They'll twist us, baby, twist us. We records, no way records. 'Cause I heard not a whisper, just the sound of my own breathing and the rhythm of a love that wasn't mine. The words will do us nothing. They'll twist us, baby, twist us. No way records, no way records, nowhere.
So I noticed you played with Lauryn Hill.
I did. I auditioned for a
I'm
Fugees
crazy
tour.
about Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. I auditioned for a Fugees tour, and it was really mind-blowing. She just walked in the room like a
Like a tornado?
like a tornado, and she had tremendously big, hair, and that was very cool. And so we did a couple sessions after that. Worked on some of her songs that she was still trying to finish up and wanted to get ready. And
Was this post the miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
this was, yeah, it must have been, because it was like it was 05, 06.
Okay.
Somewhere in there, and it was right before the whole Fugees Meltdown tour.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it was.
But
Well, I think-
yeah, she was cool and terrifying, but cool.
Why terrifying?
Because she knew what she wanted. And
Mm-hmm.
that in a musician is a scary thing sometimes, where they walk, no, I want that to sound like that. I want that to sound like that. And it's like, okay, you just jump into, all right, I got you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But all the musicians on their toes. It was pretty cool.
You just start playing the way they want you to.
Exactly. I mean, she gave you room to do your thing, but you wanted to make sure she was happy. It was very cool.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because I know that you're going to be having a couple of performances that are going to be in the area soon, and I want to make sure that our
Sure.
audience knows where you're going to be. Tell us where you'll be.
Okay. Well, on March 1st, which is my birthday, which I believe is pretty close to your birthday as well.
We don't talk about my birthday. That's a dead day around here.
Oh, come on. But yeah, on March 1st, I'll be at Winston in Mount Kisco. And then on March 3rd, that Friday, I'll be at 12 Grapes. And I'll be doing First Fridays for a little while at 12 Grapes. Other than that, I play on Saturdays out in Connecticut, out in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, a great room called Foundry Kitchen. Mm-hmm. I play at Fortina on some Fridays in Rybrook. And then other than that, a lot of shows just pop up. I think I've got a Mohansic Grill show coming up in April, and they're awesome people there. And yeah, I really just try to fit in time around the area when I'm not doing country club gigs or things like that. I just want to be out. And because I've been playing out for so long, I get to see people that I know and I start to know, and it's fun.
Well, what a wonderful way to live, You're getting to do what you like to do.
Yeah.
And you're able to support yourself. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And you've got some original music that you're working on, and you're doing some work in the studio. So when can we expect the CD from you?
Well, there's the CD work, and then I'm helping a couple of friends. I'm managing them. Because I can't stay in one place at a time, I just started a management and music consulting company. And
That's new.
That's new. That's
new.
new.
You didn't mention anything
I
about
know.
that.
I just it's
So you have a management company.
It's a baby management company. We have 2 artists that I'm working with, but I'm helping them with recordings and working on my own as well. And hopefully, by April, May, I'll have at least 4 songs out on a SoundCloud or for somebody to buy.
That's terrific. Now, who are the people that you're representing?
Oh, sure. So I'm working with a great singer in the area. Her name's Emily Angel, and she's...
That sounds familiar for some
yeah,
reason.
you've probably seen her out. I know she's played 12 Grapes and plays a lot in Stamford and Rybrook and Hawthorne. But so she's a great singer, has a lot of original material. And she's working on a new record, and I'm working with her just in terms of booking and management and taking things up a notch. And then working with this great drummer named Elena Bonomo, and she's based in Queens now, and she does a lot of off-Broadway work and a lot of gigs. And yeah, she's just a 24-year-old firecracker of a drummer. So it's
well, best
fun to
of
watch her
luck to
grow.
you. With your endeavors and your performances, and I'll be sure to see you over there at 12 Grapes in March.
Right on.
Thank you for coming to the show. It's been great talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
And to our Living Arts audience, I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Drew here a little better. And please go see him at some of his performances and support him any way that you can. And you can always see our past shows on YouTube. And go check out our Facebook page and see what we're up to. And we will see you again soon.
Stopped counting the time, stopped counting the lines, and let you live your way. reading the signs, stopped running behind. There's nothing I can say. We're gonna lose you. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? I can remember when everything fell into place. You didn't hide your face. Sometimes I wonder how I let you get off track. I'm here to carry, we're here to drink past your mistakes, however long that takes. Sometimes I wonder if you're ever coming back. That was goodbye, you don't have to cry, 'cause there's nothing in your way, nothing to stop you. Keep telling the lies, keep telling the lies. There's nothing you can say, 'cause we're gonna lose you. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? I can remember when everything fell into place. You didn't hide your face. Sometimes I wonder, I let you get off track. I'm here to carry, we're here to drink past your mistakes, however long that takes. Sometimes I wonder if you're ever coming back.